Hello, and welcome to How to Craft Meta Ads that people actually want to click. I'm Becky Hopkin, and I am from Digital Gearbox, and we are the PPC agency for ambitious brands. We've been established for over 10 years and have over 30 years' experience helping many businesses across the globe unlock game-changing results using pay-per-click and paid social. So let's get cracking. We've got a lot to cover today. I want to start by very quickly looking at the auction process on Meta. So for every opportunity that Meta has to display your ad to someone within your target audience, an ad auction is triggered to determine the ideal recipients based on their potential interest in it. Now, Meta's objectives are simple. They want to match your ad with individuals within your target audience who are most likely to engage with it. It's all about that user experience. They want the target customers to be happy with what they're seeing, and they want the advertisers to be happy with the results they're getting from their ads. So to do this, Meta has 5 factors it will assess to determine your ad quality and relevance to your target audience. And you'll see at the very top of that list, they say that you need to grab attention with creative best practices. And that's not a surprise. So where research has shown time and time again the critical role that creative plays in the success of a campaign. So on the screen here, you'll see a study by Nielsen, which looked at nearly 500 campaigns, and they found that the creative element contributed towards getting a sale by far the most at 47%. Yet, so many advertisers get really hung up on other elements of creative campaign, and there's lots of settings there, but I've seen time and time again that they're focused on the audiences and trying to find really micro audiences, or they're just trying to tick the box to say I'm doing meta advertising, and they just boost a post. You're not going to get the right results with that. So today I'm going to show you just how much you can do with the creative and equip you hopefully with loads of new ideas of approaches that you can take to get your ads getting the clicks that they deserve. So let's start by talking about the different ad formats. There's 4 choices on Meta. You have a single image, hopefully self-explanatory, but a picture with some text. Single video, and here you can show off your product features with moving pictures, the movies. And then there's carousel ads, and here you can display up to 10 images or videos. A lot of people don't realize you can do it with videos within a single ad. So they're the ones you kind of scroll through. And then there's kind of the secret sister, the collection ads. And actually these are more for e-commerce businesses. And here you can feature multiple products, and it opens up what Meta call an instant experience. Slightly more complex. And actually for the purpose of today, I'm going to focus on the more commonly used other free ad formats. So let's talk about which one of those you should use and which is the best option. So when our photo ads going to be your best option? They are going to be perfect for when you want to drive people to your site. So in a Facebook study, a series of photo only ads actually outperformed both the video, carousel and the collection ad formats in driving unique traffic. People are accustomed to seeing an image and clicking. They're also great when speed is of the essence. So you want to create an ad in minutes, you can grab a photo, set it up very quickly. Obviously it takes a little bit longer to create multiple images for carousel ads or to film a video. And they're great for raising awareness of products. So if you've got a tangible product to promote, a photo ad is a great place to start, just to highlight that image and make it pop and stand out in a feed. What about video then? So video is great if you've got a more complex service or product, because you can show it off physically in brand new ways that you just can't with a single image. It's also great if you want to tell a story. It's also good for capturing attention quickly. Something moving is going to get your attention more than something static, so that is when you might want to try video. Or if you want to deliver a single message, so you can convey a clear and simple message that make people take action, such as buying a product or going to your website. And then carousel ads are great if you want to show off multiple product ranges or products or features of a product. I've seen people just think of carousel ads with showing the different items they use, but actually you can show different angles of your product or different variants. They're also great for encouraging engagement because of that swipeability factor. So people have to actually click to see more there. Also, they're great for telling a story. So if video isn't an option for you, you could actually use different carousel slides to kind of do that in a more static way. This leads on to my first piece of advice, which is to utilize the different ad formats and not just stick to one type. So another study saw that using 3 or more ad formats increases campaign awareness by 20%. More importantly, purchase intent by 7%. So I'd see all the time people just stick to the one, but you want to be testing 3 or more. So really you want to have a image ad, a video ad, and perhaps a carousel ad on the go and be testing that. which leads me on to my second piece of advice. Test, test, test. Now, everything I'm talking about today, you need to test it. So don't just have one ad, have multiple ads and be trying and seeing what actually resonates with your audience worse and gets the click. Too many people think meta ads going to boost a post and that's that. You need to be testing different things to get optimal results. So let's quickly talk about testing best practices before I move on to some more tips. Develop a hypothesis. So we're going to get scientific here. Don't just run tests for the fun of it. Think about what you expect to happen as a result of the change you are doing. So I think we'll get more sales if we use this image, for example. Test one variable at a time. So don't have a wildly different image and copy. Decide just to change the image and keep the same copy, because otherwise you're not going to know what it is about the ad variant that is causing the difference in results. Make sure you are creating distinct ad variations. So don't just change one word, because it might not be enough of a change for people to really clock that change and the results won't be significant then. Finally, run the test for at least 2 weeks. So 2 weeks is kind of a minimum campaign duration you want to be thinking about. And that's because Meta's ad platform factors in a lot of learning and a lot of automation now. So as soon as you launch a new campaign, any campaign will go into a learning mode. And you might have seen, if you've run campaigns before, 3 different statuses here. Active is when it's gathered enough data, it is able to optimize for you based on the data it's got, because it's got significant conversion data or click data to identify where the best people are. If it's in learning mode, it's still figuring that out. And if it's in learning limited, it means it's gone past that 2 weeks and it's still not got enough significant data to be optimizing for you. So there's a few best practices to bear in mind. Wait to edit any ads until it's out of that learning phase. So if you see like a small phrase that you want to change, just wait until the 2 weeks are up before you do that, because otherwise it's going to go right back to the beginning of that learning phase and you're going to have to wait another 2 weeks. Avoid unnecessary edits. It's going to cause it to re-enter the learning phase. Avoid creating too many ad variants or ad sets. Whilst I say test, you want to have a couple of ad variants. You don't want 10, because it's going to have to test each of those and get enough data on each of those. So you want to keep it fairly simple, A/B test or ABC test. And use realistic budgets. Really important. A lot of people come to us and say, how much do I need for Facebook? You need to be putting aside around about £1,000 a month. So if you're doing it for 2 weeks, £500 to get enough data to get out of that learning phase. If you do get stuck in the learning limited phase, there's a few things you can do. You can combine ad sets to kind of consolidate that data and give Meta more juice to work with. You can try expanding your audience. So I said earlier that people often get too focused on niche audiences that they want to target. Meta's evolved so it can find your target customers for you. So go broad, trust in Meta. The AI technology is there now, where they will put it in front of people and quickly learn who is responding and who is buying. Go broader, trust me, and you will see better results. Raise your budget. As I said, people go in expecting they can spend £10 on a campaign and it's going to work. It's not going to work. You need to have significant budget to be putting aside to get results here. Raise your bid or control limits. This is an interesting one, because again, with Meta's Advantage Plus, which is the automation side of things, they can help manage that budget for you. If you do have control limits on your campaigns, which it will advise against, you might just need to raise that bid or that limit on your campaign to get out of that phase. Change your optimization event. So when you create a campaign, it will ask you what you are trying to achieve. Are you trying to achieve brand awareness? Are you trying to achieve leads? Are you trying to achieve sales? If you're going for the sales, it will optimize to get you the sale, which sounds great, but you need to be getting at least 50 sales within that 2 week period for it to think it's got enough data to target people who are going to buy from you. And that might not be a realistic target for the base of the type of product or service you are offering. So you might want to go for a kind of softer goal, such as traffic, or even in an e-commerce space, you might want to go for the add to basket, where more people are going to be doing that. And there's going to be more data going to Meta for it to optimize with. Go a little bit higher in the funnel. Tailor your copy to your audience. So this kind of goes against what I was saying, because I was saying go broader. But if you do have an audience selected that is defined, so to speak, don't just have a blanket message that's going to apply to every one of your customers. In this example, for a client we're working with, they have certain types of product that they sell, and one of them is targeting children, but obviously you can't target children, so we target the parents. So if you are specifically talking to parents, you can change the messaging, which is showing it is kind of, you don't want to say hey parent, buy from me. But you can see here we've used the message, introduce young minds to the world of coding. So obviously if you're not a parent, you don't really care about young minds, which sounds odd. You probably do care about young, but this message is specific to that audience that we are talking to. So if you are subdividing your audience somewhat, do make sure you are tailoring the copy to your audience, because it will resonate more and you will get more clicks. Highlight what makes you unique. This is actually something that I know people struggle with. What's your USP? But it is marketing 101, and it is something that you should spend the time doing and have a clear selling point for why people should buy from you rather than your competitors. And it's really effective ad copy if you can just summarize why people should choose you. So in this example here, why choose this puzzle brand? And they just bullet point what makes them unique and why people want to buy from them. And it just makes it super clear why people should buy from you, and will encourage more people to do so. And if you are not sure what makes you unique, have a look in the Meta ad library, because there you can search for your competitors' ads or people in the same industry as you and see what messaging they're putting out there. If you're using other social platforms like LinkedIn, they have an ad library too. Go to the ad library and you can search in any country, any category, for other people's ads and see what ads they are putting out there. It's a great place for inspiration. You can just see what the competitive landscape is and decide what message you want to put across for your brand. Create high quality media. This is one of my favorite ads, the cute little horse. The days of imagery have changed vastly. We don't need a professional photo studio anymore because we each have a smartphone with a very good camera now. So what I mean here by creating high quality media is more about the editing of that image or video and making sure it's nice and clear, positioning of the product or things around the product is good, the lighting is good, that kind of thing. And also that it's an interesting image to look at. There are loads of tools, as I said, out there to help you with that now. A couple of Meta's recommended creative partners are on screen now, but there's also some really cool apps now, particularly for products, where you can snap a picture of your product and it will put it in different situations. So you don't need a big expensive photo shoot to have some really good quality images now. Less text is more. So you have the opportunity to put quite a lot of text now in your ads, but please don't. Meta will truncate it based on the position it's in. Often it won't even show any of the text. So you don't want to be writing essays in your text because people aren't going to sit there and read it. They are scrolling through looking for updates from their friends. You want to keep it simple, something that's going to accompany the image and just give them a little bit more of a hook. If you've got quite a complicated offering, get them clicking onto a landing page which explains it all for you. Show people using your product, and you can do this via video like on screen here, but you could also just having someone, if you're selling clothing, for example, have an image of someone wearing your clothing rather than just clothing on its own without being worn. People like to see things that they're going to buy in use. It makes it clearer what they do and what they can expect from buying from you, so they're going to be more likely to engage with that. Have a single focal point. This is more for product images. Having kind of the clear cutout image of a product versus kind of an in situ picture with multiple items tends to perform better. And I think that's because people are accustomed when shopping online to seeing products in a nice, clear, crisp cutout manner rather than in a more interesting fashion. So particularly for carousel ads and particularly for your kind of product ads, have a single focal point, make it super clear the product that they're clicking on and what they're going to land on when they click through. Maintain visual consistency. This is a really important one because sometimes with the creative process, people think, oh, we can try a whole new look on the Meta ads, but then it's a really jarring experience when they then land on the website and it doesn't look the same. You want to be maintaining some brand consistency. Obviously, logo pulls through from your Facebook and Instagram accounts anyway, but think about your fonts, think about your coloring. Don't want it to misalign because that is where people will lose trust that you're pretending to be someone that you're not. Put a face to your business. So people buy from people. So people love it if they see faces in ads, and particularly for businesses kind of in the more service driven industries, actually having business owners or staff in the imagery and videos really helps create kind of a virtual rapport and build trust. So yeah, use faces with your ads. So on to video. Video actually makes up about half the time that people spend on Facebook, whether it's through social video formats such as the feeds, stories and reels, or online video content where in-stream ads appear. You can reach people where they're spending their time through video on Facebook. So there's some best practices we want to think about that is just applicable for video. Aim for 15 seconds or less. We've had people provide us with some very nice videos, but they're like 2-3 minutes long, and they've been created for a different purpose. You want to have ad content that is made specifically, or at least edited, is specifically for Facebook and Instagram that is 15 seconds or less. I know it's not long, but as I said before, people are scrolling. They want to get to the point quick. Film vertically. So people are viewing these ads on their phone vertically, so you want to be filming vertically. We said about 15-second ads, you want to be getting to the point and capturing attention in the first 3 seconds, otherwise they're going to keep on scrolling. Designed for sound off viewing, but do include sound. So most people will have sound off on their phone when they're scrolling through, so you don't want to rely on the sound for the ads to convey the same message. But at the same time, if people do have their sound on, if you've got a silent video, it's a little bit weird. So you at least want to have some background music that accompanies the video content. But if you're speaking, you want to make sure you've got subtitles on, because otherwise they're not going to get the message that you're trying to put across. And in relation to subtitles, or any text that you're using in the video, you want to avoid putting that in the top 15% and the bottom 35% of the screen. And that's because the ads will place in a lot of different situations, and sometimes the call to action button will obscure any text at the bottom, or the branding that comes up automatically will be at the top. So you want to make sure it's in that golden spot between the top 15% and the bottom 35% of the screen. And if you are using text, also make sure you are using a modern, clean font for any text overlays, and don't obstruct the main visuals. It's really challenging. It's a small piece of retail estate, but you've got to get it right, otherwise it's going to block. It's not going to be seen, or it's going to block important things. So just make sure you're factoring that in, and don't try and hurry it and rely on the auto software to do that. So I've talked about getting people to click on your ad, but ultimately, if you do not have a well-optimized website, if they click through and they see a website like this, it's not going to work. Don't spend all that time crafting an amazing ad with the tips I've just given you and have a really shit website. You want to make sure your website or your landing page that you are directing people to is relevant to what you're saying, has social proof, has a clear call to action, has a good loading time. I mean, there's so many tips for a well-optimized website. I don't have time to go through that now, but don't underestimate the importance of your landing page experience in the success of your ads. And trust in Advantage Plus placements. So I've said before, Advantage Plus is Meta's automation. Advantage Plus placements will make your ads appear across the whole Meta suite in a variety of places. Meta will do all the hard work for you. If people aren't responding to any placements, they will stop showing it in that placement. So just trust in the automation and you will get better results. So now, giving you some best practice tips, I want to go on to some successful ad examples from clients at Digital Gearbox. So this ad here is from a company called Pillowwad, who do some really great pet bedding and feed. I'm going to play the video, but you're not going to hear it. Subtitles are there, and that they're in that golden space, and that they're clear to read. Basically, the concept of the ad is that this is actually a customer of theirs who has a whole pet boarding business, and she's talking about a single product from their range that she really, really loves, that her animals really, really love. This worked so well because, first of all, it was someone else talking about their product. Having obviously yourself talk about your product being great is one thing, but having that social proof of someone else saying it's wonderful works really, really well. Secondly, focusing on just one thing. So I said earlier about not having too much in an image or video. By just choosing one product, people don't have to make a decision once they land through about what they want to buy or what's good from this company. Instead, they're being told that this product is great, and it's a really simple yes or no, am I interested on it? So focus of one product. The speed of the video is good. I think it was actually just over, it's over the 15 seconds I said. However, it's a really engaging start. People get to the point and the cuts are really quick. So it works really well. And you'll see it also encouraged social proof from other people who had watched the video, talking about the fact that they also love that specific product, which again just added to that social proof kind of snowballing effect. And it all feels super organic just because it's not only them putting out the content from that one person, but it's real people responding to the ad, which just really benefited the ad's performance as well. And I would say making sure that you keep an eye on the ad's comments is a super important part of successful Meta ad campaign management. We've seen it before where one ad had loads of good comments and then there was one bad one and it caused the ad performance to nosedive. I don't think that bad comments are always a bad thing, as long as someone from the company is responding to kind of explain why they had that experience or publicly respond, because then it shows that actually sometimes having a bad review can help, because unfortunately in the real world that not everyone is going to love you. But as long as you can provide good customer service and show evidence of that, and that can actually really enhance your ad as well. But in this case there wasn't any bad ones. An ad from the same company that was less successful, a really nice ad, clearly shows their products, has some lovely music that you can't hear, but it's just a little bit more generic, feels more like an ad, it's less authentic. So it just didn't get as many sales as the other one did. A different example, a company called Glove Glue who do a gripping spray for goalkeeper gloves. This is really looking at kind of the more bottom of the funnel targeting ads. So this was the remarketing campaign. And what we found here was having the carousel style ad, which showed the product that they had last looked at. Very clear imagery, the kind of white cutout that I mentioned earlier, worked super well. And actually the messaging with it was super simple: improve your goalkeeping with a little help from Glove Glue. So they'd already knew who Glove Glue were. They weren't going to be interested in reading loads of stuff. They just wanted to see the product and be able to go back and buy it once they considered it. So that worked super well. Whereas in comparison, this advert, which ran at the same time, nice video, nicely shot video. Whilst in theory it was nice, it wasn't as relevant to the person that had been on their website previously, because it wasn't a specific product that they looked at, and it required a little bit more of an investment to watch that video rather than just show the product that they were interested in and give them that quick link back. So there we have it. I have spoken to you about a lot of best practices that you can go away and follow today, and hopefully you now feel more confident that you can craft meta ads that people actually want to click. Thank you so much for watching. If you do have any questions, you can get in touch with the Digital Gearbox team across a variety of socials. We're on LinkedIn, we are on Instagram, we are on TikTok if you are down with the kids, or you can email us at info@digitalgearbox.co.uk. Thanks for joining. Take care.